I feel like we lost track of the previous 3 episodes. All right, hello, welcome to another episode, episode 10. We hit the 10 episode milestone.
Woo.
Empty heads, welcome back.
Post schnoz surgery.
Yeah, post surgery.
So I'm gonna be sniffling a lot. I'll try my best to move away from the microphone so you won't have to hear that. It's like the nose recovery. Apparently you sniffle a lot. You have to sniffle a lot, according to my doctor. He was like, yeah, be sure you're sniffling as much as possible to really heal your sinuses. And I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Surgery was wild. I guess we could talk about that.
You just took a drill one.
Yeah. So the day, you go in and you take your clothes off and you put on the gown and the cap and those socks, those hospital socks. And then I was just laying there, and then they're after an hour they're like, okay, we're taking you in. So then they put, I had an IV in. So then one of the anesthesiologists put something in my IV. She was like, all right, happy juice is flowing. I was like, okay. Instantly, I was just dazed, and everything was a little slow, and I was like, okay, great, this is how it starts. So then they roll me over to the operating table, and they're like, okay, we're gonna put you on the thing, just could you help us? And I was like, yeah. So I scoop myself over. They put the breathing, the oxygen or whatever the fuck it is, not the anesthetic.
Yeah.
Knocked out, blacked out. Few seconds later, woke up dazed and confused. For so long, it's not true. And and then what was weird though? I woke up with my clothes on.
What?
Yeah, so that means that they put my clothes on me.
All right, guys, dress them up.
Yeah,
just throw you out onto the street.
So I was like, ooh, and I was wearing my jeans and the clothes I came in the place in.
You had your Dale 600 on, just
Oh yeah, the Dale 600. It's a nose guard that they put a gauze on to catch all the blood. And I woke and I was like, boo. And then have you ever been on general anesthesia?
No.
It's wild. So then they put me in a wheelchair, take me out. My dad puts me in his car, and then I'm driving back, or my dad's driving, but I'm just sitting there just rocking back and forth for a good 5 minutes. And then I was texting someone, and then I fell asleep, and then I woke up and I was my dad was like, oh, we're home. And I was like, no way. We were sitting in our driveway, and I was like, we're not at home right now. And my dad was like, yeah, we are. I was like, I don't believe you. He's like, get out of the car. So I get out of the car, and then my parents help me, and I fumble into my room, and I immediately just take off my clothes, everything, down to my boxers, and I just collapse in bed and knock out for maybe 3-4 hours. And then I woke up mostly anesthesia free, and I was like, wow, that was crazy. I get up, put on some clothes, drink some water, and then I can't move my face kind of because my nose is covered in, my nostrils are covered in, this is gonna be a little gross, my nostrils are covered in dry blood, and I have nasal splints up my schnoz. They're 2-inch plastic rods way up my nose. And I was just it was so weird. And then I get up and I use the bathroom and everything. And then I'm just sitting there, and then I just immediately needed to barf.
Oh,
and
wow.
I ran to the bathroom and I threw up so much. Apparently, when you come down off of anesthesia, you just throw up.
Interesting.
And then I knocked out. I'm on 3 different medications, 2 antibiotics, steroids, and then also I have to do this thing. Have you ever done a nasal rinse? A saline rinse? Okay, so it's this little bottle you buy. It's these salt packets. Not it's salt and other stuff. You mix it in with like distilled water, so there's no like other shit in there, and then you spray it up your nose, and it just like cleans out your sinuses and stuff. So I have to keep doing that to like, you know, for the healing process. And then I also put like some steroid juice in there as well. So there's a topical. So I'm like 4 different medications technically. Surgery is no joke. I thought this was like in, out, you know, they just scoop it out and I'll be fine. No, man.
No.
I have stitches still in my nose. I didn't think that was possible. Yeah, my first post-op was 4 days after the surgery. Sorry, Sunday. Yeah, 4 days. And he was like, okay, they prescribed me Norco. Do you know what Norco is?
Yeah, it's a painkiller.
Yeah, like the fucking opioid. So it was like, I was like, okay, I'm definitely not going to take that because like I'm not going to be in that much pain. But he was like, be sure to take one before you come to your first post-op because it's going to hurt. So I took one and my dad drove me and yeah, it fucking hurt. I was on like crazy pain medicine and he like, my doctor sprays this like numbing stuff up my nose and he was pulling out these splints and it hurt like a motherfucker. And then he went in there with it's this thing called an endoscope. It's like a very thin, long tube camera that they ram up your nose. And I've had that like before, so like it's uncomfortable, but like I'm used to it. But then he also at the same time had like a little vacuum in there sucking everything out. It was so uncomfortable. And then he finished with like my right side, and I was like, oh, like when will this end? And he was like, well, I still have to do your left side, so you know, bear with me. And then it was just. The whole experience was bad, but now, you know, my breathing's better. I'm sleeping a little better.
That's good.
Yeah, that's about it. All that for nothing. And you know, there's still a chance that the polyps will just come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, that was like a good 5 minutes.
That's fine. We always need to fill time, so.
But yeah, I'm now in schnoz recovery.
It's funny, the general reaction from the group chat, or one of them was like, what if Ayman dies? Like, just straight up.
Yeah,
I was like...
I saw that while I was still, like, you know, high on the anesthesia, and I was just like, well, yeah, whoa, what if I die? And then, like, it was after the surgery. And I really... For a second, I was like, wait, what if I died? And I was like... I had to remember that I already had the surgery.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah, having dry blood just on your nose for multiple days at a time, like, cause I wash it off, but like, you know, it just keeps bleeding or whatever. It's so gross. I still have occasional like random nosebleeds, and just like my nose just randomly like just goobs out and like, you know, mucus comes out. I'm sorry, this is very gross, but
yeah,
you know, it is what it is. What else? Basketball.
Well, back to the last topic before we start on basketball. Leave in the comments if you've ever had a nosebleed.
Oh yeah,
That's somebody we know told us that they have never had a nosebleed in their 19 years of existence, and I just thought that was crazy.
I can't believe that.
Because I used to. I don't get them as often, but I used to get them all the time.
Me too,
just constantly.
Yeah. Well,
So.
you know what? You know the Seinfeld episode where Jerry's like, haven't thrown up in 8 years. That's a terrible Jerry Seinfeld impression.
Yeah, horrible.
But that was me. I hadn't thrown up in a long time, and then I broke my streak.
It's like 3 times a year for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. Jeez, what's
It's
your deal?
the flu or like recently when I had the sty in my eye.
That made you throw up?
No, it didn't. The medication did.
Oh.
Because I was on 2 different medications, 2 different antibiotics, and one of them you're not supposed to eat on or you're not supposed to take on an empty stomach, and I did.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, "We're going out. Do you want to come with us?" And I was like, "No, I feel a little bit queasy." And then as soon as they left,
Sorry about the car noise.
yeah, if that gets picked up, somebody started their car. But as soon as they left, straight to the bathroom, I was like, ugh, just
Jeez,
threw
that's
up, and
rough.
I was like, damn it, I should have done this. I should have taken it on an empty stomach because it's like, you know, Those labels, they're not joking around.
No, they know what the time at. Mine is also don't take on an empty stomach, and I keep making the mistake of doing that. I haven't thrown up yet. That's because
if you keep doing it, you will eventually.
yeah, probably, but
You just
it's
like
happened
you
like
won't.
once.
You can't help it.
But I was reading the side effects of one of them, and it was just like the craziest shit. It was like, nausea, dizziness, and then it was like diarrhea, heart palpitation, this, that. And I was like, what the fuck? And it was like, if you eat, you're fine, but if you don't,
it's like
you might throw up.
It's like all those medications that you see on TV.
Yeah, it is.
Or it's like chance of death, thoughts of suicide,
like,
that, heart attack.
How are these antibiotics?
Your intestines will explode. Your brain will melt if as a side effect. It's like, what?
Like, you will fucking die if you take this medicine, but you need it.
You need it though. You need it for hepatitis C or whatever.
Yeah, or osteoporosis.
Yeah.
What is that? That's bone cancer. Yeah, that's what that is. Medicine is no joke. Listen to your doctor. Don't take opioids.
Yeah. Believe in science.
Believe.
All right, basketball.
The Lakers are all right. They're doing all right.
They're fine.
They clinched the
number one seed. Yeah. So, I mean, because they've dropped the last two games, I'm like, they don't really have to play at all.
Yeah, because they'll be number one anyways.
They're number one anyways, so it's like, if they drop these last few games, they're meaningless. LeBron and AD should play, but they should also rest. And rest up for the playoffs because that's
they're still important. Putting in most of the work.
Yeah.
I read today that Harden and I forgot who on the Houston
Westbrook.
Yeah, they broke some record that was previously held by Shaq and Kobe.
Of points in a game.
Yeah,
together.
Yeah.
They scored like 89 or something like that.
But actually, the record is still held by Wilt Chamberlain, but that's pre-merger of the two basketball associations. So, like, that doesn't count anymore, which I think is kind of stupid.
No, it's not that it doesn't count. It's just there's pre- and post-merger.
Right, I guess.
So it's like the record for his era stands. Yeah. But, like, for the current era, it wouldn't.
Right. And, I mean, the game's completely different now. We've
talked
about that.
Yeah.
Good old Wilt.
Yeah. 101 points. Super impressive.
I mean, yeah, no one else could do that.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to imagine. But, like, 60s basketball was completely different. Everyone was, like, skinny and scrawny, and, like, their shorts are real short. And, like, I don't know. I think the distance from the hoops was shorter, no?
Yeah, no three-point line either.
Yeah. Wild.
He also claimed to have sex with 25,000 women or something like that.
There's no way.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, that's
a claim by Wilt Chamberlain. So.
That's goated. That better be on like his Hall of Fame plaque or whatever the fuck they. Like,
he already has his Hall of Fame plaque, but
I know, no. It's like, this many.
They should make an addendum to it.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, that's been a thing for a while now. What he said, I don't know when he said it, but. That was just a claim he made like a while ago. He's been long dead since then, but yeah. But a big thing with basketball right now is everybody seems to think that the Lakers are just going to lose to the Clippers when it comes to the Western Conference Finals. Even a friend of ours who's a Lakers fan, and
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Like, number one. There's mostly two reasons. Number one is they don't have an answer for Anthony Davis. That's already known by pretty much everyone. They don't. And number two is it's hard to stop LeBron in the regular season, let alone in the playoffs, because he turns it up extra in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I'm sure LeBron will do, although his streak was already broken, but to up his finals appearances overall, because he'd go to 10.
Right.
He's at 9 right now, which is insane. But, I just don't see LeBron losing, like, no matter what. And I'll give credit to Kawhi because he's a machine, and he's not someone who'll lose either. I mean, he's a robot, but...
he's not a person.
But Yeah, he's not.
It's really funny. I love Kawhi Leonard, like his character.
Hey.
Yeah, he's so awkward. It's amazing.
And another big thing is like when you look at Kawhi and PG versus AD and LeBron, like Kawhi is on the level of AD and LeBron, but PG isn't.
Yeah.
Like those guys are top 10, PG's like top 15,
Right,
top
yeah.
20. So, there's just a difference. And a lot of people don't give credit to the Lakers bench for being as deep as the Clippers.
bench.
It just is. Like that's just a fact.
Kuzma.
The only thing that we're really missing from it is Avery Bradley, who's probably the only person on the team aside from Caruso who could like guard the other guards for like long periods of time. So
We'll just have to wait and see.
yeah. Overall, though, I'm confident in the Lakers.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, I think they'll get to the playoffs. I don't know if they'll win.
Do you mean the finals?
The finals, yeah.
Yeah. Milwaukee's a tough team.
Yeah, the Bucks are really solid.
And Toronto. Both those guys are really...
Yeah, well, it depends on
whoever comes out of the Eastern
Conference. The
Conference.
Bucks are the number one in the East right now, right?
Yeah.
And then
Toronto's two.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, so they're very... Well, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, exactly.
Exciting stuff. Good fun, something to keep us distracted a little bit.
Yeah.
The games are like fun to tune into because like people are on Zoom like doing stupid shit.
Oh yeah, the virtual fans. It's
Yeah.
kind of dumb, but like it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's cute. I love they play like artificial fan.
They do that
sounds.
in baseball too.
It's really funny.
What's funny though is like in baseball, it's different park to park. So like Dodger Stadium, they do such a good job, and then like I don't know, some random park. Not to like shit on like let's say like the Miami Marlins, like Florida Marlins, like it's just like inconsistent, like the crowd noise like funneled in. Like I don't know if the Marlins are bad at it, but that's just an example of something like the Dodgers doing great, the other teams might not be.
I think isn't the Dodgers like one of the biggest teams?
It's the number 2 most valuable baseball franchise.
What's the most valuable?
The Yankees.
Oh right, that makes sense.
Valued, the Yankees are like $5 billion.
Wow.
Insane. Dodgers are 3.3, and they cracked the top 5 for major sports organizations. And I think the Cowboys are the most valuable of the NFL, and then the Lakers are in there as well. But
right, wow,
yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah.
Just the franchise of a sports team being worth billions is so strange.
It's kind of insane. Yeah. It's weird where we have placed our value towards,
Entertainment.
It's all towards entertainment. I mean, that's just sort of like how the U.S. has been, but to think like that's not even like in Europe, soccer teams it's basically a lot like baseball where these contracts are massive, but
I don't think they have as much value in Europe though.
I forget. Like some of these soccer players get contracts that are
they're 7 figures.
Yeah.
I think but I don't think any
even more so than 7 figures, I think. Like the Ronaldos and Messis, they're getting paid like what? Like the most valuable contracts in sports are baseball in the United States. For the superstar players, they're like 300 million plus, and I'm pretty sure like the stars of soccer are getting those kind of contracts, like Ronaldo, Messi.
I guess. Yeah, you're probably right. But I don't know if the franchises are worth much.
Probably not, no.
It seems like in terms of soccer, it's more about the individual players than the franchises. In the monetary aspect of it.
Yeah, probably.
Because like here in America, obviously the financial aspect of a team is very important. But in terms of the players, like the franchise doesn't try to, it's weird. Maybe I'm wrong. I obviously wouldn't.
I'm sure teams like Real Madrid though are worth like billions.
Yeah, they're probably worth a lot.
Like I think because there's so many soccer teams, it probably varies. The ones at the top are worth a ton, and the ones towards the bottom aren't. Because I mean, there's like 30 teams in Premier League, and there's like 30 teams in Bundesliga, and 30 teams. I don't know what the French league is called. And there's like 30 teams in Spain, And it's just like there's so many teams, so where the value is, it's totally like all over the place.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Interesting stuff. Sports. It's weird that we've as like a collective
Society just puts so much like money towards that, I guess.
money, focus, like time, care. Like, you know, a sports fan, someone who's never ever played, you know, X sport, could be really, really, really into it just because they like watching it, and it's like really interesting. Like they will go to every game, you know, buy the merch, really give a shit, like actually like feel emotionally distraught if your team loses. And it's interesting how much like investment we put into
And
sports.
I find it crazy, like the fact that they're so profitable that they're making people multimillionaires.
Yeah.
For which, I mean, it's a skill, but for playing like a sport, you know, societally, like speaking, like being a doctor is more valuable than being an athlete.
Right. Yeah.
But they make way less. You know, it's just sort of how it is. Same with like actors and, you know, Hollywood and whatnot. But
yeah, we've valued our entertainment more than necessity.
yeah,
But then, you know, of course, at the top is like these big corporate guys.
yeah,
Your Jeff Bezos.
yeah. Your Bezos, your Bill Gates,
Your Tim
yeah,
Cook.
yeah,
Your Elon's.
Jack Dorsey.
Weird. It's weird. Like all this stuff is so it's arbitrary.
Yeah,
It's made up.
yeah,
And like it runs the world. Man, that's crazy. Imagine like, you know, 200 years ago, not 200, like 150 years ago, you're like, this man gets paid even $1 million a year 150 years ago in the United States was crazy.
yeah.
Like, I don't even think the federal government was handling that much money out in one. But like, this guy is paid $1 million a year to play baseball. Everyone would be like, what?
What are you talking about? Like, imagine like being in the 70s and hearing like, yeah, this guy who plays baseball for the Angels, Mike Trout, he makes $360 million for his contract.
Right.
Like, that's insane.
They'd be like, that it doesn't make sense. But now everyone's like, oh, of course, yeah. Like sports, big sports athlete, like bunch of money. That, you know, it's you equate the two, especially since like branding has become such a massive
Yeah.
thing. Like because companies like Nike and Adidas wouldn't have gotten so large. I mean, they were already pretty big, but they got a lot bigger once they started like tying in with sports and everything.
Well, you were in The Last Dance. Nike was pretty small when they signed Jordan.
Right. They initially wanted to go with Adidas.
Yeah.
But I forgot why he went with Nike.
Well, I think
It's because they would give him his own shoe.
Yeah, and his parents convinced him like to look at the offer to even begin with because he only wanted Adidas.
Right, yeah.
And then they're like, no, you should still hear out the deal because it might be really good, and it made him tons of money. I mean, he owns a fucking basketball team now, so that's just a good idea of how much it profited for him. So
Yeah, that's crazy. Man, he's filthy rich. You know what? I guess like the thing about like sports is that anyone who's like physically capable of becoming an athlete, like I can't play basketball. I'm too short. You know, I'm too stumpy. Someone who's tall and like could play and like, you know, took the time to practice and like actually played every day and like really put it in, it could work out for them really well. Like, because colleges are constantly looking for scouts.
Yeah.
Or they're constantly scouting for
prospects.
Yeah, for prospects. And then after that, you know, professional, high-paying people are looking for prospects as well. So, like, if you really, like, are physically able and, like, can continuously practice, you, like, have not a good chance, but, like, a chance.
Yeah, a chance.
Was better than nothing.
Yeah.
And, you know, if it doesn't work out, I think you have more of a chance of getting a scholarship to a university than getting, like, into the NBA. Let's just say basketball.
Yeah.
Definitely. There's so many college players that don't end up in the NBA.
Only 60 players are picked every year.
Right, yeah.
So,
you know, there's hundreds of thousands.
Playing sports definitely pays off in terms of education.
Yeah, because a university, if you really try in high school, a university would go, play for us, we'll give you free education. If basketball doesn't work out for you, you have a degree.
Yeah.
It's a win-win.
Yeah. And if you're good enough, you declare for the draft, you get drafted, and if you bust, you still got that rookie contract, which is like, these days, it's definitely more than $1 million in the first round contract.
God, $1 million for a brand new player.
Yeah.
Isn't the story like, who got their first rookie paycheck and then immediately bought like a house or a car? Was it Shaq?
Yeah, probably.
I think so, which is so funny.
He's not the only one to do that, but yeah.
Like, yeah, his is like the most like spending immediately.
I think he famously like bought it for his grandma or his mother or something like that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's really interesting seeing like, you know, The Last Dance, but also like other basketball players. I wish like a documentary like that for like Kobe would be made, but you know,
It probably will.
it probably will, but they wouldn't have him being interviewed.
Well, what they do is they use clips of him in interviews.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he's probably been in enough interviews to
Piece it together.
spell out his whole career, you know?
Yeah, that's
But
true.
you wouldn't get that hands-on sort of thing that you got with Jordan in The Last Dance.
Yeah,
But you'd still get that doc.
you know, the looking back, like you know, they'd show him whatever his name going. Yeah, I could have handled Jordan. And Jordan goes, he was no problem.
Yeah.
I love that. I love just how subtle he is. Like, no, there was no issue there. Yeah, and then because like I mean, Kobe was playing in high stakes. He was drafted out of high school.
Yeah.
He was playing against like professionals in Italy when he was like 13.
Yeah.
He speaks Italian and Spanish
And Chinese.
yeah, which is he's like a genius.
Yeah.
And he's an amazing
crazy
player,
smart. Yeah.
like one of the greatest players ever. I mean, his story is probably so rich.
Yeah, definitely.
I think they're looking into that.
Definitely.
Now,
There's no doubt about it.
because Disney seeing the success of The Last Dance, they're definitely gonna look into that.
Yeah. Well, I bet Netflix is already thinking about it too, since they, partnered with
Right, they did
ESPN
partner.
on The Last Dance.
Yeah, because like I mean, it's on ESPN Plus, which is a part of Disney Plus or whatever, but you have to pay extra for it. I'm surprised Disney also released it on Netflix in the U.S., but they probably made a load of money off of doing that. So
Yeah.
I'm also not really surprised. You know what? Speaking of Disney, today it was the first time they reported losses in the market for the first time in 20 years.
That's insane.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe
Well,
it.
everything that was making them profit stopped.
Yeah, movies,
The
Disneyland,
parks.
the parks,
Yeah.
like, and then they released this streaming service, which is kind of shitty.
It's not shitty. They don't have enough like content.
Yeah,
Like
and
The Mandalorian, they had a season of that. Great show. But other than that, like they pushed back production on their Marvel shows and like
Right.
although season 2 of The Mandalorian will come out.
In
But like
September, I think.
September, November, something like that. But yeah, like just everything.
Yeah,
Just
'cause,
pushed
like,
back.
You know, it's like old Disney Channel shows, but no one's really gonna sit there and watch those.
No adult, at least. Like,
Yeah, I don't. Sometimes I just watch The Simpsons, but at some point I will just stop because the episodes won't be good.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Sometimes I watch the Clone Wars. I really want to sit there and watch all of it, but I just I don't know. I just can't. For whatever reason, it's just not working for me.
Do you have to just get through the first season?
Yeah, it's probably what
That's
it
it.
is. The first season
That's it.
is really bad.
It's not.
It's
It
just
gets better. Like the last 2 or 3 episodes are like pretty solid of the first season, but
Right.
the very start of it is very like kiddish.
Yeah.
It's more Rebels than what it evolves into.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. They're making a new Star Wars animated show.
Yeah, I think we already talked about this.
Yeah, I forgot what it was gonna be called. I don't even actually. Maybe they didn't release a name. Who knows? But yeah, it's just crazy how our market and like our financial value in most of our financial value goes towards entertainment.
Yeah. Well, I do want to buy stock in Disney though, because as soon as everything resumes, it's gonna shoot up.
It's
But I don't have enough
I looked
money.
it up right now. It's I think after today's closure is 129 per stock.
I imagine it's gonna be at least double that as soon as everything opens up.
Well, you know that its market cap I was looking into it. I think it like only got up to like 135.
That's interesting.
So I think if you bought now, it'd probably not shoot up much.
That's interesting.
Because even before like the pandemic, it wasn't higher than 150.
Yeah, I don't know. It just like it seems like with business for them opening back up, like they might profit a ton.
Yeah, probably
Potentially, but like that's something to consider.
Yeah, like because
It was as low as 90 though when COVID first hit.
Yeah.
So like you'd be profiting now if you had bought stock, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I guess that economics is just this weird thing that I don't really understand.
Well, it's the ultimate shower thought, you know?
Yeah,
It's like, you know,
we made this up.
Yeah, it's like I'm giving this piece of paper to that guy, and he's just gonna accept that
as some sort of like value.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. We decided that this paper has this much value, and that product is worth that value, and you know what I mean. And the production of that is worth this, and the packaging is worth that, and then like you know, every American bill is made of the same thing.
Yeah.
But one is worth $100 and one is worth $1.
Yeah.
But like, you know, there's no difference in what it's made of. I guess back in the day with like the gold and the silver standard, there was more of a value associated with them.
Yeah.
But
definitely
we abolished that because realistically the world would run out of money if we kept, you know, basing our money off of material.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Which is even weirder because now money is not real.
It's not real. It's not real, man.
There's estimates that I think in like by 2040, like 95% of money will not be physical.
Yeah, probably.
That could be wrong, but I remember reading some shit like that a few years ago.
Yeah, that could be the case, but like at the same time, like it would have to be very secure electronically.
Yeah. That's true.
So it's like if there's still skepticism, you know, they would probably keep printing physical money. But as soon as like, okay, so this is like a thing in altered carbon where it's like UN credits are traced to your DNA.
Okay.
So as soon as it's connected to our biological, like if it's that secure, it's like, I feel like that's something like that where it's like, it's completely secure to who, like, you know what I mean?
I don't think...
It's not going to be, like, DNA based or anything like that. It's just, like, an interesting sci-fi thought.
But what if someone gets a lock of your hair or, like, some of your dead skin cells?
I don't know. They do it, like, in the show, it's, like, fingerprint.
Okay, we have that.
Like, scanning it, sort of thing like that.
We already have that.
I know we have that, but I mean, like... It's more than that, obviously.
It's like more in depth,
yeah.
I guess. Okay, that makes sense. That's actually a pretty interesting system.
Yeah.
I wonder, because like, you know, nowadays the most secure way of transaction, other than cash, right, because that's completely not traceable, obviously, is Bitcoin and cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Is also completely non-traceable, both physically and through the internet.
Yeah.
Which is that's wild. But, you know, there's some cracks. There has to be. It's impossible.
Yeah, no matter what. I mean, it's electronic. It's connected to something that like you control, like an account or something like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, that can easily be messed around with. That's the sort of thing that's like, you know, if that skepticism is still there with like people who want to get rid of physical currency, like it might not happen immediately. It might take a long time.
Every time you want to buy something with Bitcoin, you have to poke your finger and put some blood in a little thing and stick it in your computer, like one of those diabetes blood sugar things.
Yeah.
And then it goes, bloop, you know, purchase. You bought your fucking basketball team.
Yeah.
Did you see a few weeks ago? Some guy hacked a bunch of Twitter accounts. And was like, hey, you know, like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, even Barack Obama, Joe Biden.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, hey, send me money through Bitcoin and I'll send you 10 times back. Obviously, they never gave the money out. They just took a bunch
it's a scam.
of money.
Yeah.
They made like a few $100,000. It's not traceable. I don't think they found the perp yet, but it's most likely someone in Twitter. Because like, how could you hack that many accounts? That's crazy. Since Bitcoin is like 99.99% not traceable, that guy could get away scot-free, or that person.
It's crazy to think about.
Yeah, it's fucking technology, man.
Yeah, something like that is something that would make that idea of like getting rid of physical currency like. Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't want like the idea of just losing money to someone and then never like being able to get it back or whatever. It's just like, wow. I say that and I buy stupid shit all the time.
But yeah. So like comparing it to like a physical transaction, like you're interacting with the person you're doing it with. So it's like over the internet, it's just completely like anonymous.
Yeah.
Which is just a scary thought.
Weird.
Yeah.
What else? I started watching Fargo. We talked about that.
Yeah.
I'm like 8 episodes in. It's pretty good.
It's excellent.
I you know what though? I really, really hate the Minnesota accent.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
I think it's so funny.
It's just like, it sounds made up. Like they all agreed, like, let's talk funny. Like, let's speak weirdly. Because it doesn't make sense how it's come to be.
I think it does. They're so close to Canada, and Canada has that sort of weird accent.
Yeah, because, like, okay, I watched, like, a Vox video about this. But the reason why American English is different than British English is because our vowels shifted forward in our mouth. So instead of saying bath, we say bath, right?
Yeah.
So in Minnesota, Minnesota, they go Minnesota.
Yeah.
Like, where'd the vowel extension come from? And like the pitch change.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's some linguistics explanation to it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's English is just different everywhere in the United States. So it's like it's just one of those weird things, It's definitely the most unique accent of any accent in the United States.
Yeah, that one. And maybe like, well, I guess the Southern accent's very broad.
Yeah.
Some of them are like, they have little things, but for the most part,
like Louisiana.
Yeah. Because it's a little French.
Yeah.
And Canada as well.
But yeah, I always laugh at it. Just the way they say things.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't you know?
That first episode when he goes to his brother's house, he's like, yeah, I think he's got the autism.
Yeah.
The way he says it, it's like, what?
He's got the autism. Like, what? He pees in a jar and he keeps it in his closet. Like, wow. Imagine like you were brand new to English and you're used to like the Californian accent and like the New York accent.
In episode 8, did he go to Fargo?
Yes, I got to that part.
Okay.
Yeah, the guys.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah, that's what excellent. I was like, just wait, you'll know.
Anyways, imagine like learning English and then like you hear that accent. I think I'd be just like floored. I'd be like, what? How is this possible? This defies all regular conventions of what I'm learning.
Yeah.
It's good though. It's a fun show. It's it's serious, but it's also really funny.
Yeah.
They do a good job of like that stark contrast.
Yeah, it's a dark comedy.
Yeah. That's good. What else am I watching? I don't know. Nothing.
I can tell you, I started watching Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, what is that show?
It's good. It's based off a comic book. The premise is like, it's easy to explain, but like, the first episode doesn't like immediately, so it's like if you ever want to watch it.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Whenever I think Umbrella Academy, I think of Umbrella Corp from Resident Evil, but I know that's two different things.
Two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a chimp who's like intelligent in that show. It's really cool. He walks around with a cane. He's
okay.
He's got a British accent.
Yeah, I know what that is.
He's like, Master Luther, what are you doing? And he's a chimp. It's awesome.
Yeah, the like really intelligent chimps in any lore or any thing is really good. Because in like the DC comic universe, there's that Sherlock Holmes chimp.
I've never heard of this.
Really?
This goes back to the donkey thing where he's like, DC, you have the worst characters. DC, you have the best characters.
Yeah, DC actually has the best characters
and they're also the worst. Like, just thinking of like some of the I don't know what Calendar Man is, but Calendar Man, really?
Man.
Yeah. But there's a Sherlock Holmes chimp.
Yeah, so he's a monkey, or he's a chimp, he dresses like Sherlock Holmes.
And he solves mysteries.
Yeah, and he's really intelligent.
That's amazing. And there's Gorilla Grodd.
Gorilla Grodd kills Obama in the Arrowverse.
Yeah, in the Arrowverse, he kills
Obama. Google or look up Gorilla Grodd kills Barack Obama, and then watch the YouTube video. That is from a real TV show about the Flash.
Yeah, the CW, baby.
Yeah. Sorry about, I don't know if you guys can hear the leaf blower.
I think that's too far.
God,
Let me turn it up, Mike.
Everyone's doing shit to ruin this podcast. What other weird DC characters are there?
Zebra Man.
What?
No. Zebra Suit Batman.
What?
Batman with the zebra suit. Have you not seen
zebra
And then he has
suit.
like
I didn't hear you
he has
say
like an ape like companion. It was like back in the 50s.
Yeah. No, Batman, there's so many, there's Pirate Batman, there's Future Batman, there's Caveman Batman, there's Soviet Batman.
There's all kinds of Batmans.
There's Batmite from the Fifth Dimension. Him and Mr.
Yeah, the Superman villain.
Yeah, where you have to say his name backwards to make him disappear.
Yeah.
And they're just trolls. They like fourth wall breaking assholes
Yeah.
that like ruin everything.
Yeah. DC is just they must have been high on cocaine for the entirety of like
the 70s and the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's excellent.
It's great, but like what are you doing? Like
some of the funnest characters have been developed out of that. I mean, DC also has the coolest characters. I like Darkseid more than Thanos.
After I don't know enough about Darkseid, but I don't know how you're gonna top Infinity War and like Endgame Thanos. Like comic book Thanos, sure, but like cinematic universe Thanos is like he's already an iconic villain. He's like top notch, like just everything about him is
because that comes with Disney, production value, but also like Josh Brolin,
great actor.
No one else could have done that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he did a really good job.
Balanced as all things should be. Such iconic lines. But Darkseid could easily if Disney played if Warner Brothers and DC did their movies right and led up to Darkseid and Apocalypse and Omega and the boom tubes and all that stuff, it could have been good. It could have been something. And Brainiac, I don't know. I like DC's characters and storylines more than Marvel, but Marvel just makes better movies, and that's the most accessible medium.
Yeah.
And TV
you're right, because that's the only I've had a very sparse amount of comic book knowledge, so I was pretty much introduced to comics through movies.
Right, yeah.
Seeing Iron Man in 2008 or watching SpiderMan before that,
I mean, in the next Spider-Man, they got Big Wheel.
Hopefully they get Big Wheel in the next Spider-Man.
Got Big Wheel. Okay, so obviously they're leading up to Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Electro guy. What's his name?
Electro?
Is that his name?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. And Dr. Ock and
they already got the Vulture in there. They got Scorpion.
Yeah, Scorpion. They tease Scorpion.
They'll probably do the Rhino.
I wonder how they're gonna do the Rhino. Maybe it's gonna be this guy stole Tony Stark's technology.
He stole his Rhino DNA.
He made a big Rhino suit. Yeah, and then the Lizard at some point. I don't know. Maybe they'll get real deep with Spider-Man.
I think Spider-Man is probably the only Marvel superhero with like
A proper rogues gallery.
and one that's comparable to Batman.
Yeah, Batman still has the best one.
Yeah, obviously, but Spider-Man is probably number 2. I don't think anybody else is really because he's like the only other one with like a really like expansive and great rogues gallery. Like a lot of those villains are pretty awesome.
Yeah,
you know?
like because like Superman is like, this guy's just like Superman but evil.
Yeah,
It's like, okay,
it's Superman, but he's a robot underneath.
yeah, it's Superman but he's from a zombie universe.
It's Superman, but he's got a visor.
Superman, but he's got his pants on.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
and the same thing with like Shazam. It's Black Adam. It's just Shazam in a black costume.
yeah,
I guess like Iron Man has
the Mandarin.
the Mandarin, yeah,
Yeah.
but also like the guy from Iron Man 2.
Yeah,
What-
Whiplash
Yeah, Whiplash.
and Hammer.
Hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And it's like, that's just evil Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Who's
Oh, we forgot about Mysterio, Spider-Man. Or he's not alive, but he's also part of that rogues gallery.
yeah. Well, we don't know if he's dead.
That's what I think. Simon thinks he's dead, but I'm like,
One Mysterio.
I was like, there's still like, because of what his character is, like, there's still that slight chance that like maybe he's alive, like, because this is whole like gimmick as visual tricks.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, yes, like he could just be dead, but like at the same time, there's like, I feel like there's a slight chance, like, because it's his gimmick, he could still be alive.
But he doesn't have to be. What's his name?
Oh, Jake Gyllenhaal,
Yeah, but the
Quentin Beck.
Yeah, he doesn't have. Mysterio can be anyone.
Yeah, I guess, but like,
Like the scientist with the mustache.
oh yeah,
Like that's
they
what,
could do, because it's mostly drones, and they could just like use like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
footage of like, that makes sense.
I think that's the route that they're gonna go for.
They could do that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like this next movie, I think it's gonna be Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Okay.
So I think they might just do like a more unique Sinister Six, maybe without Mysterio, and like excluding like Venom or something like that.
Right, because they don't own Venom.
Well, they do and they don't. Like they'd have to set up like another deal.
They'd have to remake a Venom introduction. They'd have to scrap.
Well, the
Tom
weird thing
Hardy.
is like Morbius, like they have Michael Keaton in there as Vulture, but it's a Sony movie. It's not a Marvel movie.
What? Oh,
In the Morbius trailer.
is it?
Yeah. It's a Sony production.
Oh, okay.
It's not Marvel. And they have
It's not like joint with Marvel.
No. And they have Michael Keaton in there and he goes, "Hey, what's up, Doc?" That's this line in the trailer.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. So I get. Maybe they're just gonna accept like a cross universe thing and then just accept Tom Hardy's Venom and like,
He was Jed.
yeah. They'll just never have him in human form.
Yeah.
They could
probably.
actually save money doing that.
Yeah.
Just CGI Venom all the time, and like Carnage. What's his name?
Woody Harrelson. With his clown wig.
That was. They could have just made him bald.
Yeah, they didn't have to
They
do
didn't
that.
have to do that. Maybe like red eyebrows.
Yeah. Which
Like a
would have looked
red
a little
mustache.
funny, but like, yeah.
I saw that and I was like, wow.
Everybody was like, wow, they really just put a clown wig on him.
That was literally the cherry on top for that movie. Like of the shit Sunday it was.
Yeah.
The literal cherry on top was Woody Harrelson in a bright red clown wig.
Yeah. He's like, there's going to be carnage.
Yeah.
And then the movie ends.
Yeah.
That's it.
Woof.
Everyone's
Excellent.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Venom, baby. I'm holding out hope for a live action Spider-Verse. Obviously, we're going to get the sequel to Spider-Verse. One of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting multiverse stuff
But like
in Doctor Strange.
Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire alongside Tom Holland, that would just be sick. Like, as this whole Spider-Verse thing, that'd be sick.
It'd be cool. Yeah, I think it'd be cool. And who do they have as Miles Morales? They don't have a Miles Morales.
No, they don't, but
They have his uncle, which
yeah.
is Donald Glover.
Yeah.
What's his name? The Creeper?
Prowler.
The Prowler.
Yeah.
That's close.
But yeah, so they've like established that he's basically there.
Right.
Just undiscovered, which is awesome.
That'd be cool. I think, because we're getting Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, so we are getting...
Multiverse stuff.
Yeah, so
I mean, they already did that in Endgame with all the different...
The time travel.
The time travel, which is a very, very similar things,
yeah.
so...
That'll be cool. The Marvel Multiverse is very interesting. I like the DC Multiverse.
And the way it, they asked, RDJ, it's like, would you potentially return? It's like, he, left it vague and whatnot, but, with the multiverse, potentially, it's like, yeah, you can see him return for a little bit.
Yeah, he'll come in from a different universe, hey, it's me. I'm alive in this one.
Yeah.
And then it just sucks for everyone else.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, geez, well. And, what's his name? Chris Evans.
Yeah.
I think he's just out.
Yeah, I think he might be just done.
Mark Ruffalo.
He's not done.
He's not done. No one else is done, I don't think.
No.
Because they already have a Thor, Love and Madness. What's it called?
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. And then Black Widow.
Yeah.
But I think she's out after that.
Yeah.
Because
she did.
She did. What a small price to pay for salvation.
Yeah.
He says. That's what he says when he kills her, right?
Yeah, I think so. And then there's Eternals as well, which is brand new stuff, which is
that's gonna be good.
Cool to think about. Jacked Kumail Nanjiani.
Yes.
Who got ripped.
Oh my god.
It's just so funny.
Watching him in Silicon Valley play this nerd Indian guy, or Pakistani
and then
guy,
the final season, he's jacked and they're trying to hide it.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's so obvious, and it's oh man, it's amazing.
That's what I love about Hollywood act. Since they're so rich, it's really easy for them to get jacked because they get a trainer and they get a nutritionist and they get a whatever, and they're like, okay, you do all my food, you tell me what to exercise, and you tell me how to live my life. That's it. They just pay people to do all the hard work.
Yeah, it's funny because the guy from It's Always Sunny, Rob McElhenney, who plays Mac, he made a joke about it because he got super ripped for one of the seasons. Because a big thing, one of the seasons, they were like, what if we do the opposite of character progression and just make me super fat?
Right.
So he got so fat for one season. It was hilarious. And then the next season, he was like, with all this Hollywood money, it's easy to. He's like, here's the steps to getting a body like I did for the season of It's Always Sunny. Be a millionaire, be in Hollywood, and have all these personal trainers. It's as easy as that. And he's just he got so ripped, it's insane.
I've seen him. Yeah. It's wild. I mean, it's not wild. They could easily just
they do it.
They do it. They put themselves through it, but it's just easier than me or you because we have to figure out what is best for losing weight and gaining muscle and count our calories or count our
and they get people to do that
they get people to do that. every morning some guy gives you okay, you eat this, drink this, eat this,
work out this much, do this,
inject this here,
all that stuff.
I think I think it's just as easy as becoming a multimillionaire, which I'm right on the track of doing.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Podcast. That's step number 1.
We'll be on the rise sooner or later.
Step 1 of becoming a multi-millionaire is starting a podcast, talking about nothing.
Exactly.
I think the Marvel movies will be just as good. Probably a little some hand wavy here and there.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot missing without the
big players.
2 of the big 3, And without Black Widow, but yeah, they're still going to be good. I mean, their production is obviously the best ever. They still have Feige, who's just clearly a mastermind at doing what he does, which is very unique to him.
Yeah, he's really
so it's
good.
There's no chance that they're gonna start slowing down. It's as soon as everybody else starts to not want superheroes anymore.
Right. Which at some point that's gonna happen.
Yeah, but I don't see it happening for 10, 15 years maybe.
I hope DC gets their act together before that happens because I would love to see a good DC universe. I'm so sad. I mean, Shazam was all right. Wonder Woman was all right.
Aquaman was all right.
Man of Steel is all right.
Yeah.
Except except for the weird, like, Kryptonian penis technology. And everyone has a gripe with how he killed Zod, or that he killed Zod.
Yeah, but that's all old news, you know. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it'd be cool to see a good DC universe, but you know, I would like to see that, but I also like, because a lot of the individual films have just take the Dark Knight trilogy, for example, like
Those are excellent.
like without the universe, you know, it doesn't necessarily need the universe, which I think that might be the direction they're going in. Is
Yeah,
just
because
individual
Joker,
films. Yeah.
Fucking Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Oh wait, completely forgot about that movie. Was actually really good.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn and the long title.
Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nerd. Like that was really good. How did I forget about that? That was a good movie.
Yeah.
You know, and their TV production is pretty good.
Yeah.
Watchmen is excellent.
Yeah.
Doom Patrol is apparently pretty good.
Yeah.
The Harley Quinn show is good. CW stuff doesn't count.
Yeah.
Because that's garbage.
Yeah, it's all trash. Sorry if you watch it, but it's garbage.
Yeah. But yeah, I wish. I think the individual movies would work better. But
yeah, you're right. Because like the Matt Reeves Batman, it's not DC Universe.
no, it's
Set
own,
in the '90s, it's
yeah.
its own thing. So.
Wonder Woman 84 is like gonna be slightly correlated. Is it 84? 89?
80, I don't know.
80 something.
80 something, yeah. It's an 80s themed movie, but I think they might just be doing a soft reboot on everything.
Yeah, which is good
Yeah.
because they really blew Justice League.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Ryan? No, what's his name? Oh my God, Deadpool.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds. He tweeted.
You were saying his name right. You stopped yourself.
Yeah, I just forgot his last name. He tweeted, like, okay, so here's my special cut of the Green Lantern movie. It was like 30 seconds, and it was just like they shittily edited Green Lantern into Justice League, and he's just getting killed like instantly.
Off screen, that's awesome.
It's really funny. Just go on his Twitter. It's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm so glad that Deadpool ended up being successful because he's just so good for it. Like,
yeah, he's perfect for Deadpool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, and now Disney technically he could hop in the MCU.
Yeah,
I don't know if they'll do that though.
no, they will. I think they will.
Yeah.
I think because there's a lot of comedy to be had with him being censored. Like he noticed he's being censored in like an MCU movie, and there's obviously fourth wall breaking jokes of like, oh, I'm in this different sort of like universe now. Like what's going on? Like the whole like when he made the joke about the timelines in the first Deadpool about is it Stewart or McAvoy? I'm getting confused by the timelines. Like there's so much potential there with him to be a very funny character. So it's like there's no way they're not going to. Not to mention they both made $1 billion. So if they decide to like he's not for our brand, like that'd be just
bad.
So stupid.
Yeah,
like he's profitable. Like there's no way you're not going to do that.
I actually still haven't seen Deadpool 2.
Really?
Yeah.
You need to watch it. It's funny.
Yeah, I'll probably just watch it at some point.
It's not better than the first movie, but it has a lot of good bits, and it's still really good.
Yeah, that's basically what I've heard of it. Good stuff. Just so much sitting around waiting these days.
Yeah.
Been living the same day for the past 6 months. And it seems like it's going to be that way for a while now.
Yeah, it's pretty much been that. I mean, with sports back, it makes it a lot better.
Yeah.
For sure. But, yeah, it's going to be like this for a while, so.
At least you have podcasts.
Yeah, at least you have us.
At least you have our beautiful voices.
It's funny because some podcasts were, like, hurting without a lot of things.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, without sports, like, some of the Bill Simmons episodes were, like, a little bit like, You know, it's probably rough for you to do this right now without sports, so it's like...
That's true. Yeah, that does suck.
But now that sports are back, I mean, he's just back on track.
Disney is releasing Mulan for $30 on Disney Plus. They're gonna lose so much money with that.
Yeah. See, like King of Staten Island, that movie was available to rent for $20, and I was like
on
Amazon,
yeah.
and I was just like, I know, like, because households hold multiple people, you don't want to make it the ticket price.
Yeah.
But by not making it the ticket price, in people's minds, they're like, why am I paying $30 for a movie when I pay $10 for my ticket?
Right. And also,
Even though when they pay for their whole family, it's more than $30.
right, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it just, like, obviously you can't do it for $10 because you'd lose profit, but I think it's just like a bad idea to release these movies like at $30.
That's why Nolan's waiting for a fucking cinema release for Tenet.
Yeah, it's just been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back.
That's probably going to be a great movie.
Yeah, I saw this meme. It was the Chad meme where it's like, blah, 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 I know, and they're both staring at each other.
Yeah.
And it was like Christopher Nolan asking for money. You don't need to see the script. You don't need to do this, all of this. And Warner Bros. Was like, yes. Just because he just makes that money, like every single movie he puts out.
It's crazy how good of a director he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully things ease up. We've been saying that for years now, but
years. In reality, it's been 10 months or 2 months and 10 weeks or 2 weeks. Fuck.
2 months and 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's 4 weeks in a month. We're on episode 10.
Oh! I meant just in general, but yeah. On the podcast, it's only been 2 months and 2 weeks.
But yeah, it's been 6 months. It's felt like forever. I don't remember March.
I'm losing my mind.
Every day has been the same. I don't remember March.
It's
kind of weird to think about.
I'm the Matrix, man. I should have taken the red pill. Which pill is it?
I don't know.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Thanks for listening in.
It's a long one. Love ya.
Yeah. Tune in next week.
See ya.